to the Black House.
We're back.
We're back again.
Round 2.
With the man.
Number 2.
The man with a plan.
Got a few plans.
Hey, you know what? Cuba duper.
Yeah.
I have to apologise for somebody's uncle. I had no idea. I had no idea he was going to do that. I had no idea.
You know, I had some sort of idea. What she's talking about is, we had someone's uncle, might be my uncle, joined me on stage, Cuba duper, for most of my set actually. Did some twerking, did some backflips. It was pretty cool.
I was just like, 1 minute we were pushing through the crowd to get to the front, and some girls started to give me a bit of the evil eye and stuff like that, and I was thinking, no, not today. I'm too old for this nonsense.
Some girls gave you the evil
eye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a whole situation.
Some Cuba duper girls.
There was some. There were girls at that Valhalla.
What'd they do?
They tried to start something with the wrong one. That's what happened.
Do you know what I heard?
What's that?
From one of Dan's mates. He says that you, while I was on stage at Cuba duper, you turned to some girl and was like, you know that Waguan guy is single, right?
No!
That's what the word's like, bro, I think like your auntie was there or something, bro, and she was like telling like my girlfriend that you're single, bro. I was like...
No, I didn't.
It wasn't those ones? Maybe they mistook you for whoever did that and then gave you the evil.
It wasn't me. There is somebody that's getting mistaken for me around the place because I've been...
Doppelganger.
Yeah, I don't know who it is because I've been told there's a girl around here that people think it's me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not me.
I get that a lot where it's like, oh bro, we saw you at the thing and I'm like, I wasn't there, I've been away. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, you. I'm like, some other dread-headed black dude. And they're like, oh yeah, it's probably just a lady with a nose piercing. Like,
maybe.
Oh, that's Leah.
Yeah, probably. But that was such a good night at Valhalla, man.
It was a good night.
But then we had to bounce, and I was saying to somebody's uncle, listen, we got to go and see Juju Lip. She's coming on stage.
Yeah, she was like, wild.
Oh my God, what a good show,
I was actually sitting there like, what is going on?
You made it.
I ran. As soon as I finished, I went and linked up with Paige Fraser, and she was like, oh, Juju Lips is still on. I was like, still? And because we started at the same time. Yeah. So then I ran over and had a look at her, and they were actually just like, she wasn't even singing, they were just going off. They were just like dancing for like an hour or so.
Yeah, it was mad. It was really
crazy.
mad.
Shout out to Juju Lips, that's crazy. We might have something coming very soon.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. Like, cause you know, here's the thing. I was checking out some old Busta Rhymes videos from back in the day. Yeah. And do you know that you look remarkably similar to him when he was with Q-Tip and A Tribe Called Quest and
Busta Rhymes,
a young Busta. Like you've got that whole like demeanor, the same sort of demeanor. Go have a look at his old videos.
I saw the link you sent me. I was thinking like, my balls haven't even dropped yet, man. You sound like Busta Rhymes.
He's only 19 in that.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So like 23-year-old me is like 19-year-old Busta Rhymes. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
He was he was going crazy those days. I'll take that comparison. Young Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, like very much so with the energy levels that you bring to the stage and stuff. Yeah.
Have to bring the energy.
How do you keep it up? How are you keeping it up?
The grace of God. Because not 5 months ago I was having a heart procedure. And then 5 months later I'm back on stage going nuts. So, like, I don't even know, to be honest with you. It's something about the crowd. When you show up to, usually New Zealand crowds are awesome, but you need to like plug them in. Yeah. Otherwise you'll be done. Like, you know.
What do you mean by plug them in? How do you mean?
They will only give you as much as you give them.
Right.
So you can't get up there and karaoke it. You really have to engage with the crowd and make sure that they're like with you. Otherwise you'll be jumping by yourself. As well as like, they want to like, audiences in New Zealand are awesome because they want to participate. They didn't come just to like come. They came to like and be involved and engaged in a performance.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people like mistake about New Zealand. Like when they are really engaged, they're engaged fully. Yeah,
they're in there.
But if they're not, nothing happens.
And that's on you. Like, honestly, I think I've seen a few performances. I remember when I first started making music in like 2018, checking out Wellington shows. I used to be like, dude, like, I used to sit in the crowd and the guys were like, oh, come on, give me some energy. And I'm like, bro, you're not Goku, man. It's like, you gotta give something to get something. And also, like, make sure that, like, I don't know, it's also, like, in terms of, like, there's something about when you can tell an artist appreciates where he is.
Yeah.
And appreciates, like, them coming out, appreciates, like, the space they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of turns into, like, a little church scenario where it's like we're here to actually, like, we're here to get to work, we're here to get busy. So I think I just come on the stage with that mindset, and then as I see individual people in the crowd, I just kind of lose myself a little bit and just go like, we're having fun. Having fun is another one thing as well, where it's like people can tell if you're not enjoying yourself. So.
Well, while we're here having fun, are you single? And do we need to let people know? Because, I mean, if the girl that looks like me is actually, like, if I'm going to get accused of this shit, I might as well do the job properly. Are you single and are you looking for anyone?
You have to talk to my mom about that.
Oh, you have to talk to your mom.
I'm focused on... I'm making music, man. Look, I don't have a dating profile on any of these dating profile things. And I also, like... I don't know. I've had my heart broken a few times,
Right.
You just wait. There's some music coming, some great music on the way because of that. But I'm not really. I got some things. I'm very. I'm engaged, but not like maritally engaged. Engaged like a toilet that has someone in there. Because you turn the toilet key and it goes engaged.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I'm with you.
There might be someone in my toilet, and maybe not.
Okay. But I'm still processing that.
So I'm trying to make everyone's processes break so they don't.
So basically what the main thing is that we go through mum.
Yeah,
ladies
go through
out
mum.
there.
You have to hit up my mum.
Yeah.
www.waguansmom.com. Send through your applications. We are taking applications.
Right.
We're looking. Must have past experience.
Of what?
Work experience.
Oh, okay.
But not too much experience,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm basically going to just step into that whoever that was that thought it was me trying to pimp out Waguan.
You're trying to pimp me out. They're trying to pimp me out.
It wasn't me, but I'm pimping him out here on the Blackhouse. And I'll take full credits. Thank you very much.
Must be at least 6 foot.
Your girlfriend?
Yes.
She's got to be taller than you.
She's got to be 6 foot. She'll be way taller than me.
Okay. What's the fascination with taller women?
So I can get some kids in the NBA.
Okay.
I'm thinking generational. Generational growth, I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rapping doesn't pay a lot. I'm trying to live through my...
And listen, girls, there's nothing wrong with short guys. If you're the taller one, there's nothing wrong with short guys.
Nothing wrong with short guys,
Yeah. Sometimes, if they're too short, they might have a bit of a complex.
Nah, you want like between 5'8" and 5'11".
Yeah.
6 foot guys, you don't need to, who cares about those guys?
Yeah, no
6 foot plus, those wastemen.
Okay, so where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go next?
Well,
I know. All right, you've been up in Auckland. Tell us about what's going on up there.
I've been sneaking around.
Yeah, I was like, what, like.
I've been hoeing around in Auckland. I'm not gonna lie. I went up there for a little wee while and just had a little look around, and just been collabing with some artists up there and stuff, just because I wanted to. Initially, Juju basically forced me to do it. She didn't force me, but she was just like, come up here for some time at least.
I'll whip you with my ponytail.
Yeah, with a long ponytail. So I went up there. I think on the first week up there, me and her make some fire.
Cool.
Shout out to Aiden Fine for bringing that together. I link with her, me and Icy are doing what we do. Me and Billy have been like plotting, and linked with the 1174 boys who were in the studio just a week ago making some stuff.
I thought they had moved to America. Are they back in New Zealand now full time?
They exist in your imagination. Those guys are like, you know, when you meet someone so cool that you kind of go like, is this even a person? Are these people? And they're twins, so it's like.
Oh really? I didn't realize that.
Mochi and Chingy are twins, so it's
yes,
like,
no,
are you a person? Yeah. You guys are not of this earth. So they're just the slickest dudes ever, and they just bounce around everywhere. You might not even know where they are. I think we did like a writing camp up there for Mes Muir's album, and like there's so many people there. Lots of different artists were there. I got to meet a lot of people.
Tell us about these writing camps. Like, how do they get set up?
Mes Muir, who is formerly known as Faraswamy, he has been plotting something. I'm not allowed to tell too much, but basically it's a lot of us in an Airbnb making something you've never heard before because he had an idea.
Right.
And he's like, I have an idea, call the Avengers, we all come there. I got to meet lots of people. I met like Mikey, I met like INF Music, he's cool. I met like, I think Podiso and Timmy were there as well.
Yeah.
Jess came in for a day. That was pretty fire to see her again.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Mike Snell was there cooking up. The 1174 boys were there. I met Flino and Dice. These two white boys, right?
Yeah.
Making Afrobeat.
Way.
And they're the sauciest white boys I've ever met in my life. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out Flino and Dice. But yeah, it was a good time. I think these writing camps are really cool, especially like we're not really getting too many of those set up outside of an artist willing to pay for everything.
Right.
So it was cool of Miz to like set it all up and get everyone in there, and it turns into like people were focused. I was like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go. But we came in there, and on the first night we were supposed to just like chill out and like get to know each other, and then like, you know, maybe talk about some ideas and stuff like that. First night we were recording.
Wow.
Yeah, I made the first song there.
Cool.
And it was low-key the best song there. I'm not gonna lie. Now, Mikey Tam had some fire ones, but it's just like, you can imagine me talking about animals with Jess B in the background doing ad-libs. It's pretty fire.
So, resourcing, you know, like what you just said about like, you know, Miz put it all up. And is there much support with resourcing for Afrokiwi artists to actually come together and do that?
Okay, so Mez, like, there's definitely some horizontal resourcing in the sense of everyone helping out, everyone bringing their equipments to where we were playing, and like kind of Mez Mez got support from this company called After Party, right, which is like a company that like does shosha and like deliveries of like different. Imagine it's 2 a.m. and you're after a party, and you need some stuff. You need some socials, you need some whatever you would like to do to set up the kick-ons, they'll deliver it to you. So he got them to help out, and like they really helped us out in that sense. But then we all came with our equipment and set it up and brought our talents and all got to work and with our time. Now, if 24 hours ago I would have been complaining about Africans being underfunded.
Yeah.
But as of 24 hours ago, we just saw the list of this round of NZ On Air funding for music.
Yeah.
Because a few weeks ago, they announced that they were doing a Pan-Asian grant.
Right.
And all us Africans we were in the group chats going, oh, that must be nice, it would be nice. And then they NZ On Air last night posted the list. There's like 5 of us on there.
Wow.
Me, Mesbo, the twins, 1174 on there. I'm trying to think if there's another African on there. I think there was, and I'm missing. I'm having a mind blank. But the government is they're NZ On Air music is putting on for we can't complain.
Yeah.
There's nothing to complain about anyway. I saw that Z as well got onto one of the other rounds of funding. So like, I think we're getting they were talking about how they were really seeing that all these different artists that they're about to fund are going to touch different audiences.
Yeah.
So I think we're finally getting some recognition in the context of being like, we are, as African people in New Zealand. I think honestly, none of this would happen if Adesanya hadn't knocked that dude out.
Right. You reckon it's
we're all back now. Yeah. After we were sitting there. I mean, as an African in New Zealand, he's like, You know, he's one of the he's I mean, I'm not gonna say the messiah, I don't want to annoy anyone, but he's definitely the leader of our generation in the context of like,
yeah, I mean, he knows everyone, and
yeah,
he has so much impact globally.
Oh yeah, every time his fist touches the face of someone else, we all stand up. And when he won, like when he knocked out, like,
yeah, I saw that fight.
It's actually indescribable in the context of us being like, I don't know, there was just something about, especially the way he was, like the way his career has gone has been aligned, I feel like the way a lot of African people in New Zealand perceive themselves is based on how well he's doing.
Yeah.
And then when he's playing, Pereira's got him against the wall back again. It was a generational story where, like, you know, he's got his back against the wall, Pereira's like hitting him, he's playing possum, right? And you think as an African, man, that's how I feel. And then bang, bang.
Yeah, it's
Pereira slipped. We're back in business. Everyone stood up and, like, you know, maybe NZ on air, they were watching that and they were like, you know what, Africans are back. Hit the button.
Yeah.
Open the
everyday
floodgates.
People.
Yeah. So we're getting plugged in. Things are happening. Things are really moving. And so yeah, I think it's like it's reached, like, things are, the tide is changing very, very kind of like, I remember the interview we were doing over the phone with and I was talking to you about all those artists that I've been working with, Juju, Timmy, Z, and Tita, and all these other people, where, like, between now and then, so there's something like a month, 2 months, it's like been happening. Maybe we spoke it into being, but we're like all performing a lot of shows. We've got a show tonight opening for No Comply at Meow, come along.
Yeah.
And like, the floodgates are opening. I think we're all just kind of getting into the groove of 2023.
Yeah, when I look at it, I'm sort of thinking, you know, Afrokiwi artists are really punching well above their weight class.
Yeah. For
the size of our population in New Zealand. You know, like, you've got Masbo Q on Creed 3, like, come on.
Yeah, Masbo has been doing too much. I remember I was watching one of my favorite TikTokers, this guy called Exford, J Will, right? He does, like, sync licensing tips and tricks and shows different, like, ways of production and stuff on TikTok. I remember hitting up Masbo. I was like, Masbo, I'm coming up to Auckland. I was like, Uncle Olua Maz, like, Uncle, I'm coming up to Auckland for some time. Can we link? And he's like, oh, you know, I can link when I'm back. I'm just going off to, I'm going somewhere. I'm going to LA for some time or something. I'll be back in a second. I'm on TikTok that night and I'm watching one of my favorite TikTokers, and then he's like, I have linked with my friend. He turns the camera, it's Maz. And I was like, bro, you didn't tell me you were, and now they've got a whole project coming out where I think it's called Metahuman, and they're gonna be like,
it's out.
Yeah, they are doing too much on all the movies and stuff. It's just too much. We are definitely punching well above our weight, and especially in terms of, like, really, like, hitting the ground running. Because I'd say, I mean, like, Africans making hip hop, at least in New Zealand, isn't really a long thing. Hasn't been a long standing thing. But then people like Maz, Razor, Abdul K, Jess, already eating. I think Jess was at, like, was it South by Southwest?
South by Southwest.
She's doing that. I was like, bro, I don't even pay attention to South by Southwest. Last time I was paying attention to that because, like, my Action Bronson was on there. I was like, that's cool. Next thing you know, boom, Jess is on there, and she's, like, all over the place now.
Yeah.
Just, like, kind of front running. Her and Adesanya need to do, like, a collab album or something, because it's just like those.
Can he rap?
I bet he can. No, he can dance.
Yeah, doesn't he do?
He puts the B in B-boy, boy. That guy,
is he a B-boy or is he a what is it, crumper?
He is a dancer. I think he's just African. To be honest with you. To be honest with you, like, you know, it's, if you slow any dance move down, it's just an African dance move at the end of the day. You speed it up, it might look like a different type of dance move, but...
Oh, you watched Rise too? Yeah, well, that was our, in our house, because I had two break dancers as kids, and that movie Rise, with the crumping, was like the house Bible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just watched over and over and over again, and then, of course... I think it was Beat Street. Beat Street was another one. That's a very old one.
I'm 2000s baby. We had Step Up.
Yeah.
We watched Step Up.
Oh yeah, then there was the Step. Well, my kids are.
Everyone was like, "Oh, watch Stomp the Yard." I'm like, "Now watching Step Up."
Stomp the Yard. That's the one.
As a good one, eh? Yeah, nah. Adesanya gives those vibes when he dances, but yeah, like we're doing a lot, and we're about to just keep going and doing more and stuff like that. I'm about to start my next wave of releases. It's about to start popping off. Maybe like 6-7 weeks time. You're about to see something.
Yeah, because you haven't put out anything for a while.
Nah, because I've been plotting. I've been plotting.
Right.
Since Kwana, we've been just like, I was thinking to myself, I put out a few tracks that are real personal to me. What do I want to do next? And I have this thing where I always fluctuate because I always like drop, but I don't think long term in terms of being like, okay, because I've been kind of putting feelers out and I don't want to like stick to one thing just yet. And then we came across something, me and Icy ended up coming across a sound, and you'll hear it tonight if you come out to Meow, where it's like, okay, this is Waguan, that's the monkey man, that's like, he's I think I've definitely found a little pond to swim in, and we're excited about bringing that out, and Juju just dropped as well, she just dropped Saucy.
Yeah.
That was dope. I think it was one of the best music videos we've seen since like Jess's one. Jess and Razor had some good videos, but I think Juju's one was pretty fire. She had a ponytail that went down to like this, looked like it basically was like a 10-foot piece of hair. She had hair out there, and then the music video, she's got some like old white dude on a chain on a leash.
Oh no!
Which is pretty fire. But yeah, we're especially like with backing from NZ on air and stuff. We're like hopefully like you just see lots of Africans pop off. Real soon. 1174 just dropped with Mikey Dam as well. And Mikey came
and they're floating backwards and forwards all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going wild. Weird, because Mikey came to the Cuba Duper show and we played their song last. For my set, I was like, you guys got to do your song for my set to close it out. Crazy. The crowd loved it. It was just like, it's just one of those, it's such a feel-good song. I wish it was summer again. Yeah. Because it's one of those. Summer
was short this year.
It was short.
It just went poof.
And then we got flooded. Summer, then you got flooded. Huh? Remember? Like, it was floods.
Oh, yeah, floods. Like, yeah, well, we missed it in Wellington. You were in Auckland, so did
At the time, I was in Auckland, yeah. And it was pretty,
So were you around where the flooding was?
No, I wasn't. I was actually in Wellington when it was flooding. And then I came back up, and I'm like, why is it such a mess? What happened here?
Because didn't the airport flood?
Yeah. That was the night I left.
Right.
Come back here, and I was literally watching on Facebook, me and my mum, my mum just, God is good, looking at my son is in the house, and everyone's...
Not in the flooded airport in Auckland.
Yeah, not in the flooded airport. But, summer was short, now it's summer overseas, so, like, it's even, as an artist, it's even more crunch time now as well. It's, like, globally the hot spots there in summer right now, so gotta pop off over there and stuff. But, yeah, I got some stuff in the works, me and Icy... been cooking up.
Now, you tell me a little bit more about these collaborations, because the last time we spoke for Cuba Duper, you were saying you were thinking about setting up like a stable of guys.
Yeah, we got our group chats. Yeah. There's a few group chats where basically trying to get like the young African artists to like kind of just have a look horizontally and be like, let's just work together, guys, and like kind of find a way to just keep each other in each other's minds in terms of like just support and like more than the music as well, just life and actually doing life with people so that we can like, because we all basically have the same upbringing. Your parents like put you in a box and they bring you to New Zealand and then they kind of set you loose to go and figure everything out. So it's like, we do that. So yeah, I've been talking and linking with a lot of young African people and just like working on like just building a little hub that doesn't exist like physically, but just like in terms of communication, and definitely like it'll bear its fruit soon in terms of like the way that people the way it improves. Like even with one session with the boys from 1174, I kind of look at things a whole lot differently, especially the way they come in. The way they come in and the way they write, and the way they actually do it too. We were chilling, we were big chilling. We were playing Fortnite in the studio while like someone was on, Shingy was like producing and me and Butcher in the back playing Fortnite and just thinking, oh yeah, I have an idea, pass the controller to someone else, you go record something, and then just finish it off like that. But with those kinds of things, I think it's like with time you'll see like I think there's a lot more of a community being built and being built the right way.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes with people just kind of communicating and especially too when I got the funding announcement, just like the boys were like congratulating me. The group chat was flooded with like Podiso, right? So he sees my funding and he goes, "Oh, bro, I'd love to. Let me be your PR agent. I charge 3K per social media post." And Timmy goes, "Oh yeah, let me be your video camera guy. I'll charge 1K per minute of video." Yeah. So they're like, oh, you know, like we're like having a laugh and just lots of congratulations going around and understanding that a win for anyone, it's a win for everyone.
So, applying for funding to put out a music album or videos or whatever, there's a process, right? Yeah. So this process, do you guys share how to do the process?
That's
with
how
other artists?
I did the process. I was told, shout out, I don't know if you know Mukuka.
Yes, I know Mukuka.
As soon as I got the funding, I was like, thanks, Mukuka. No, she like, definitely hit her up, go her way. She has a website for creative play, like, where basically it's like, it's not so much like, there's a dark secret that you like, you know, in terms of like...
But you know, like, funding's really funny like that because for a long time, that's the way they've acted.
You'd think that's how it goes, but it really just is about doing it.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people kind of let the myth of being like, oh, well, maybe, you know, when I send my funding, they're going to need me to like also send them a blood sacrifice in a week.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's really just like, they do ask a lot of questions, but that's kind of what you'd expect of any sort of people like trying to actually help you. The questions they're asked are based on like just how you feel you're doing, as well as like how they actually can help you to, you know, what is it that you need.
Yeah.
And I think it's about just getting stuck in and actually looking into these things and putting your hand up and being like, look, I think as well as a confidence thing with a lot of artists, they don't feel, they don't necessarily feel like, oh, you know, I'm going to apply for that because I might not get it and stuff. And I think that shuts them down immediately, where it's like, well, if you're not going to try, you've got to have that confidence in yourself to think, oh, I think I'm worthy of something like that. And my art is definitely at that level where I think some backing would really help get it out there and stuff. Put your hand up and give it a go.
Yeah.
That's all I can say, definitely in terms of giving it a go, because I was with Mukuka showing her some music, and she was like, oh, you should apply for some funding. And I was like, nah. And she's like, why not? And I was like, I couldn't come up with a reason why not. And she was some like, she's a dog mom now, so she has that energy where she's just like, well why not?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, okay, I did it and put my hand up, and it was nothing too complicated so much as just actually explaining what it is I'm trying to do and what I have done in the past. And then they kind of went thumbs up, good job. And I think that that's something that a lot of artists in New Zealand should give a go.
Yeah.
Definitely give it a go.
And I mean, like, I've only just gotten into learning about funding myself. And I know that there's organisations out there that will help you actually write your funding application for you. So, I mean, it's just having that information and sharing the information. I think that's really important in our community, because I know, like, you know, when I was a young warthog, it was it was very difficult to get information about anything.
Yeah.
Like, it was very much a closed shop. And I think one of the things when it comes to supporting a community that's growing up in New Zealand is that we've got to learn to share the information.
To do or maintain in regards to, like, we've all got so much we've all got so much we need to do, like as an artist, especially as a migrant artist. There's so many boxes we need to tick and so many things to cover that you get so absorbed in your own world and your own thing like that. But then what I've noticed is as soon as you open yourself up to actually lending hands, and as soon as you open yourself up horizontally to the people around you, then you can actually, you know, as long as you're willing to give as much as you receive, and like if you're looking into like actually being of service to other people who are doing the same thing you're doing, it all starts to like open up in regards to like, because no one has something has any information that they want to keep for themselves so much as like no one has asked them directly, be like, hey, I saw you, like I was talking about getting Spotify playlists and getting an editorial playlist. So I asked my friend Rob the Bank, and I'm like, I don't know if there's something I'm missing in terms of, like, I can't get on these editorial playlists. And then he explains to me that his journey with it, and being like, well, firstly, you can't expect that kind of stuff with your first release. You got to give Spotify a chance to actually figure out what it is you're doing and where to place you. You're not just going to grab your thing and put it here just for the sake of it. And then as well as like when it comes to explaining what it is your track sounds like to them, in terms of like, have you told them what playlist you think it could go on? Have you told them like the type of sounds that are being used in terms of like, is this like electronic? Is it more of an acoustic? Is it?
So there's a lot of stuff you have to fill in the back when you load up your music as an artist on Spotify.
Well, it's not so much a lot, so much as like you just have to be able to describe it. It's kind of like the same with the like NCA level 1 essay. They're not asking you for like a lot. It's like what they're asking you is just like to actually so it can be understood. Like if I send you a track and I think, hey, can you put this on your playlist? This track sounds squishy. They're gonna be like, what is squishy?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Especially because they can maybe hear that it's like a house song, and they're gonna be like, oh, I want to put it on my house playlist.
Yeah.
But he said it's squishy, and I don't want to put him on the playlist he doesn't want to be on. So like he's gonna need more. It's gonna need more of a sound. This is a hype song. It's a hype, fast-paced gym song.
Right.
Good for gymming. You'll end up on the gym playlist, I swear to God. It's not as complicated so much as like, I think with a lot of frustrations and a lot of different things, you start to come to conclusions on your own as to like what the criteria might actually be.
When I'm looking at new music on Spotify, and I've got several playlists up there of, African New Zealand artists, another genre like Amapiano, one of the things I find most annoying about New Zealand artists, or especially our artists, is that they don't do really good descriptions of who they are. Yeah. They don't do that press kit, little bit of that press kit on Spotify. And you know what? Like sometimes I will miss somebody because I didn't realise they were African and they were in New Zealand and they were based in Dunedin. Like things like that are so important.
Yeah, just describe, put yourself out there. I mean, I'm like that. My Spotify says.
It says something really random.
I change it all the time for fun. It'll be like 3 a.m. and I'm like, I'm gonna say I'm a single mother of 4 on my Spotify playlist. But like, definitely get into describing yourself and have a chat with anyone who does anything to do with PR. They'll be happy just to talk to you about what it is you're doing and be like, oh yeah, you probably want to use more describing, use better words for describing yourself and describing your sound. And
sometimes also, if you can find somebody who can write it for you, because I always found writing about myself really difficult.
True. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the stuff you do isn't like just for you to consume. So getting an outside perspective is really important, to be honest. And just there are lots and lots of people. If you just ask around and be willing to ask, like, hey, do you know anyone who does bios or writes is proficient in writing stuff? And someone will put their hand up and help you out. It's just like, in terms of understanding that that's what you need as well. Yeah. Instead of, when you get frustrated and you feel like you're at the end of the line, it's time to get an outside perspective. Sure.
Because, shout out to Mukuka and what she's doing up there.
Definitely.
And also I'd like to shout out to Access Radio too, because they're like, just send us all our MP3s, send in your MP3s, and they'll put it on their New Zealand music playlist that just rotates, and I mean, you never know who's listening out there.
It's definitely important too to actually look out and like send the stuff, because I mean, I bet you $20 that even Drake or his team would send a song somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not just like, my song is so good that they're gonna go and burn the file from YouTube, download it and put it on their playlist. No, they also want you to reach out and be like, here is the song, and give a little description about it as well. So then people, the doors are open, you just gotta walk through them.
Do you think that today young artists have the same sort of, I don't know, understanding of radio and how radio can actually be really good for their careers?
No, I'm a victim until Radioactive started to like, I don't know, Radioactive, I think it was, I did an interview for a show we're doing, and then this was maybe 2021 or 2020 even, 2020, 2021, where I was on there with Don, and we were talking about a show, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like radio stations are active and they exist, because I'm 2000s baby. I was born in 99, so all my music was free, and it was in my pocket from the internet. Viruses from LimeWire, who cares? So.
But you know, it's those old rich daddies that listen to the radio still. Your financiers.
As well as like the people, like honestly, like never discount any avenue. Like, so as soon as that happened, I started working quite closely with Radioactive in terms of like always making sure to send my stuff, always making sure, and then if engagement just goes up in terms of like, getting introduced to new listeners also, because people are listening to the radio, guys. More people are listening to the radio than are going to stumble upon your Spotify. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
more people right now are listening to the radio than people who are like, because stumbling upon someone's Spotify is nearly impossible. There are so many artists out there that I have never heard. Why? Because I haven't known to look them up on Spotify. You have to search on Spotify.
Yeah.
Radio is different playlists that are like served up to the general public to be like, would you like, it's a community notice board where it's like here, and then someone, I guarantee you, every single time Wellington Access Radio or Radioactive, any of the radio stations in New Zealand play your song, someone who has not heard your music will be hearing your music.
Yeah.
Whereas like just going through the digital streaming platforms route, you need at least a link, or you need recommendations in order for that to actually happen. The Spotify algorithm's great for putting your stuff out to new people. It actually does it Discover Weekly, where it'll send your stuff out to new people every Monday.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why not also have it in an avenue where people are just like, here you go.
Yeah, like as much avenues as you can. Like, why limit yourself?
Why limit yourself, for sure.
You know, and Mukuka's sending us her every time she's doing another PR on another artist. She's sending it right through to here, right through to Radio Access as well, so that we can get, you know, online interviews, but also so that get their music on this radio station, not just on the Blackhouse show, but on the radio station and played at any time.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, people. People are waiting to receive your art.
Yeah.
Give it to them.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
And don't discount. I know. Radio's really Gen X, but honey, the Gen Xers are the ones that have the money. Okay,
money, honey.
They're the ones that are gonna finance your career if you do it right. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, as a 2000s baby, I remember listening to ZM when I was young, or like listening to these radio stations, and just you forget just like how. It's a vibe. It's a vibe in its own, and it has its own audience entirely. So like tap in where you can. But yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to as well. Just like having kind of overcome the barrier of coming to my own conclusions about things, and then coming to realize, look, everything is open. All the doors are open to you. You just actually have to put your stuff out there, and everyone will be happy to.
I think it's so funny when I hear people are born in 2000, and I just think, 2000 was 10 years ago. Like,
it's 23 years
I know, it's bizarre. Like, it's just, there's this sort of mind warp thing that happens, because I still have a hard time thinking that people think the 80s is the way that we think of the 50s.
Yeah. People born in 2005 can drink alcohol now.
They can?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, honestly.
So kids were born while their mum was playing with an iPad in the birthing suite, and they can buy vapes now. Pretty wild. Yeah. But yeah, no, things advance, but don't forget about the things that came before, for sure, because they're still going. People still play vinyls.
Vinyl's CDs. Coming back in a big way right now.
Make CDs, make cassette tapes, just make everything. Don't hold yourself back just because you didn't really do it when you were growing up. People are still out there.
Oh, God, you don't want to bring back cassette tapes. Cassette tapes
I love cassette tapes. I love ruining my parents' cassette tapes, and they're going, what happened to cassette tapes? Meanwhile, I've ripped the whole thing out.
Yeah, and you have to get the pencil to get it
and I'm trying to put it back in, and then you like sneak into the car when they're not watching and see if it works again, and be like, oh, look, Dad, I found your cassette tapes.
So what I want to ask you, because we're coming up to the hour, so what I wanted to ask you was, tonight, you're at Meow.
Tonight we're at Meow opening for No Comply.
So who's No Comply?
They are two, like, very saucy white boys, right? So these guys, like, they can rap. And what's really cool about them is, like, we've had each other, I guess, on each other's radars for, like, a while now.
Yeah. Over
a year at least, of me just kind of being like, oh, that's cool, like their stuff, or they like my stuff, and just seeing their stuff on Instagram. And then would, you know, have a listen to their tracks and be like, oh, these guys can rap. They're up there with like some of the best, like, there's something about people who can create a vibe with their music that is unique. Like Rob the Bank does it well, Will McLean does it well, Mikey does it well, where it's like there is a vibe that is being created here where you can expect, that's why I think they're going to do so well tonight and do so well. They're on tour right now.
Right.
Where, like, they create a vibe that, you know, you want to come and be inside that vibe. Where you listen to them in headphones and think, man, I'd love to be in a room full of people listening to this music.
Yeah.
So they're playing tonight at Meow, and they're Wellington Leg of the tour, and I'll be opening up for them.
What time are you going to be on stage?
9. Doors probably open at like 8:30 or something like that at Meow. Come through, be nice to the Meow staff, please, because they're great people. What's
the charge to get in?
Like 15, something between 15 and 25, I'd say, something around there, where it's like 2 drinks.
Yeah.
2 drinks worth of.
But Meow's such a good venue.
It is. The staff are crazy. Every time I've performed at Meow, I've always opened for someone, whether it was Church and AP or Jazz. And I remember being in the green room, and like those were my first times even being inside a green room, and I'm sitting here like, why is everyone so nice? Why is everyone so nice and so great? They're the best. And then the sound guys are great too, and they have a really good like venue going, like whether it's like the bar staff or the people who are managing or the sound and lighting guys, they're all like locked in, man. Don't have to worry about anything. Same goes with other venues in Wellington, but for tonight it's Meow, and that's where we're going to be. Right.
So that's for that's for everybody watching this live right now.
Come down to Meow tonight.
Come down to Meow tonight.
Where I think beforehand I'll probably be zen, meditating a little bit, gonna perform, and then we'll stick around and catch the boys and No Comply perform, and then afterwards we might venture out.
Into the wilds of Wellington.
You know what I mean? Like we might go for a walk. So come might go for a walk. So come out. And
still, I have to remind the girls out there, while I am pimping them out on my radio show, you still have to go through Mum.
You have to go through Mum. A PSA for all the girls of the show tonight. Just please don't touch my hair. As swishy and voluptuous as it is.
Right.
It's a bit oily. Don't touch it.
Okay, so I think that's about us for today.
That's us.
What do you reckon?
I love coming on down to the Blackhouse.
And just catching up.
Just catching up.
When are you heading? Are you going to be sticking around in Wellington for a while, or are you heading back to Auckland to, slosh around up there?
I'm bouncing around. So me and Icy's in Auckland. So me and him, we're locking in on a project that's going to come to you in like 7-ish weeks. 7 weeks. So I'm going to go back up there to lock in. However, I still have like Wellington on my chest. So I'm not really like, I'm not like a migrant. I'm not immigrating to Auckland. I'm just going up it's a working holiday.
It feels like immigrating to Auckland. Anything to do with Auckland, in and out of Auckland, it's like Auckland's a whole other country.
Basically, it's another country. Honestly, it's another country up there. There's like 4-lane traffic, bro. Wellington, I'll stick with my State Highway 1. 2 lanes of traffic. No one can go anywhere at 4 o'clock. Yeah. But I love it. That's how I like it. But now I'll be going up there to cook up and finish with him. You'll probably be seeing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We'll start showing that off, and then I'll be back, and then we'll see what happens from there. But. Yeah. Definitely. I also put out a PSA out there for some artists. I have some artists in Wellington and around about who wanted to tap in. because I'm also like getting on some production for other people, and I'm sort of coming to a place where I'd like to see what's out there, and the people are getting started. I got my cousin, he's one of the best pianists ever. He's just like getting started on his music journey and stuff, and shout out Daryl. Yeah. He's doing what he was DJing for me at Cubadupa. There was that little dread-headed mushroom in the back, eh? Yeah. So like definitely get started, guys, because like I think it's definitely time for the youngins to come in and kick the door down. Yeah. Like I'm waiting. I've been sitting here waiting, trying to push all the the old uncles out of the way. Just get out the way. Let these young people through. Yeah, just get out the way. And aunties, yeah. There's a new wave through. Like, anyway, yeah. I guess I'll see you next time Adesanya knocks someone out, and and some good things happen. And some good things happen. This is crazy. All right, that's us on the Blackhouse. Thanks so much for coming in, and yeah, definitely want to see you again when you come back through. That'll be so cool. Yeah, I'll come through. Might bring a friend. Yeah. Might drag Juju. Bring a whole tribe. Bring a whole tribe. Yeah. Drag Juju by her ponytail and say, look. Yeah, you gotta come through. Because I really want to see you getting some of these things done down here, because I'm getting too old to travel, and so I don't want to work that hard to go and do things. I want stuff to come back to Wellington and have stuff happening here and make it exciting and in Wellington itself, because I mean it's getting a bit tiring here, I think. Yeah, I can see that the scene's getting there's a bit of stagnation, but don't worry, guys, the floodgates are opening. 2023, Wellington will be back on the map. Windy City, always is something special. So let's get to it. All right, and thank you so much for coming in, Waguan, and we'll talk to you another time. See you next time. Peace, love, God. Yeah.